All right, everyone, welcome to the July edition of the Polkadot Community Call. Joining us today, we have a packed agenda with Brainjar from Composable Finance. We have Alan from Aventus Network. We have Sota and Rams from Astar Network. We have Pavel and Dave from Gear. And we have John from CESS, which is Cumulus Encrypted Storage Systems, as well as later joining us from Unique, we will have Philip and Alex as well. But let's start off here because we have a packed agenda for this next hour. Um, let's begin here with Brainjar from Composable Finance.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Great. Yeah, so super excited to be on this. Really appreciate the invitation and the opportunity to be here. So, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Brainjar, did you want to walk through XCVM or first intros and then do that?
Yeah, sure. Happy to do so. So, yeah, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm the founder and CEO of Composable Finance. Our main focus is creating infrastructure to allow for the development of cross-chain applications with the hope that cross-chain applications are what sort of mass adoption um, would engage with, not only from a sort of utility perspective, but also from a user experience perspective. To do so, we've architected a framework called XCVM, which essentially is a single smart contract deployed onto our chain that developers can write to then be able to pass messages, whether through XCM, whether through IBC, to other ecosystems such as Cosmos, such as other pair chains within the Polkadot ecosystem, to allow for higher order orchestration. So things like swapping can now occur on multiple different chains uh, through a single contract, lending, all sorts of applications. And so we're really excited about not only introducing COSM WASM as a WASM-based smart contracting framework for the first time within the Polkadot ecosystem, but also this power being harnessed with the work we're doing to bring IBC to the parachain ecosystem, along with extending IBC's scope to multiple different ecosystems, allowing it to also interact with XCM within the Polkadot ecosystem, harnessing both these sort of powerful pieces and running it all on our parachain to allow for this high level orchestration, which to date there has not been a significant framework put together for orchestration of interoperability. And so we're hoping to change that with XCVM, which not only unlocks the ability to encode higher order logic into these contracts for the unlocking of more complex applications, but also with a single contract, you have the ability to write simple applications with clean user experiences that really abstract away what's actually happening behind the scenes. And we've shown examples of this at Unchained, our event on July 1st. Our designer, head designer, Slenderman walked through like user experiences of these sort of MVP of what XCVM, an example XCVM application would look like. So roadmap for this is our intention is to deploy COSM WASM onto the parachain the moment that Picasso has went through its launch sequence. After that period, thereafter we're wrapping up our work with bringing IBC to the Polkadot ecosystem, and then also sort of intending for to then roll out Palette XCVM, which then basically merges all of these pieces together to allow for this kind of broader vision that we hope to accomplish. So this will all occur on Kusama first, and then deploy it up to Polkadot.
Wow, that's really cool. Thank you so much for sharing. You guys also spoke about this at Polkadot Decoded, if I remember correctly. So if people want to learn more about this, they can also check out that talk as well, right?
Exactly, yeah. And we've also have a live stream from our Unchained event as well, which sort of highlights not only the sort of the reach that we intend to get with this application, with these, with the types of applications built on XCVM, having it really be this kind of event that was cross ecosystem in mind, which really personifies XCVM as being a cross ecosystem application layer.
Wonderful. And then what I always like to ask our speakers is where can people get more information, or what's the best way to keep up to date with what all the great things Composable is up to?
Absolutely. So I think our intention is to onboard as many developers from the broader Rust ecosystem into this framework. So anybody who's interested in basically uh, working with this technical stack, feel free to go to docs.composable.finance. You'll find multiple different developer documentation we have about this stuff. We'll also be rolling out we already have a grant out there for projects that were previously deployed on Terra Classic to deploy also onto the Picasso parachain. But in the meantime, if developers want to learn and play around with our technical stack, check out our docs and feel free to hit us up on Discord as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining today.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
up next, we'll have Aventus.
Hey everyone, I'm Alan, the founder of Aventus. We're quite new to this ecosystem, so it's great to be here today having a chat to all of you.
Wonderful. Thanks for joining, Alan. And would you like to talk about what Aventus is building your a more newer parachain to the ecosystem?
Yeah, for sure. So I actually founded Aventus back in 2015. We went through the sort of 2017 ICO craze. We've been kind of building out across different industries, but most recently really found our traction and our focus. So we're really focused at the moment, or moving forward, should I say, on kind of building out enterprise-grade infrastructure and sort of helping the adoption on that front. We started out sort of as a layer 2 on Ethereum, building on Substrate because it was the best tech when we started building that. And now, as you mentioned, I think next week we'll be formally announcing exactly what parachain slot we're going for. But really our focus is on sort of high transaction throughput. We analyzed what the sort of main majority of sort of blockchain transactions were across different ecosystems, focused in on sort of fungible tokens, non-fungible tokens, various other key primitives, and then built a gateway API around that, allowing for almost like the Infura in the Ethereum ecosystem to allow people, we kind of give the service level agreements that enterprises would kind of expect around that, various features like paying for transactions on behalf of users, supporting different wallets, all of the kind of stuff our clients needed over the years. So key traction to date for our network, we started out in live event ticketing. We did a deal with Live Nation, who's one of the sort of biggest public companies in the space there, and various smaller players. We're also in video games. Key client there is Fruit Lab. They've got about 600,000 users. They've got a play to earn model that we help them build sort of token in that ecosystem. Then loyalty as well. This is with our client Cashback app. They've got about 1 million active wallets across our ecosystem. This is really looking at how you restructure loyalty points, Cashback app offerings on the blockchain. Of course, more recently, NFTs. We will be announcing towards the end of August. I obviously don't want to mention the exact names today to keep the sort of journalists fresh, but one of the biggest sort of independent film franchises, probably one of the most memeable films in the crypto space. We've got the sort of exclusive deal around that, so we'll be bringing that to the community. And then aviation as well. We've done a big multinational deal that'll actually be announced later this week, so everybody can have a bit of a read there. And finally, we've gone into the blockchain as a service model as well, looking at deploying instances of Aventus in a permissioned basis for certain use cases where they can still connect up and ultimately become parachains. And the key client will be announcing in August as one of the sort of biggest betting companies. One of the founders has done a play on, should we say, fantasy sports, and we're supporting them and rolling that out. So you can see very much we're going for some of the bigger clients and seeing how we can help that adoption in the ecosystem. Other noteworthy stuff is we were endorsed by Gavin Wood recently as part of our Skytail investment. You can see that on CoinDesk, and I can share some of those links. So yeah, lots going on in our ecosystem.
Wonderful, exciting stuff. I'm looking forward to what's to come with Aventus as your chain gets closer to launching and such.
Yeah, thank you. Great to be a part of the community and pull closer to this.
Yes, and thank you for joining today, Alan. And you mention? I'm sorry. Like I asked Brainjar, how can the community stay up to date with what you guys are doing? What's the best place?
I'd say the best place is probably in our Telegram group. That's at Aventus Network. Or if you want to get a little bit more in-depth information, it's on the Aventus website. So aventus.io/blog. It's a bunch of good content to be found there.
Excellent. Well, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Up next, we have Sota and Rams from Astar Network to talk about XCM and XCMP and all Swanky Suit and all the stuff they're up to.
Awesome. Can you hear me right now?
Yes, we can.
Cool. Sorry for the technical issue. I joined right now. My name is Sota Watanabe, founder of Astar Network. Astar Network is the future of the smart contract for multi-chain future on Polkadot. And the Rams recently joined our team, and he lives in the US. He is one of the community leader. Could you introduce Rams, maybe?
Hello, yes, thanks for having me here. I recently joined the team, like Sota said, and working a little bit in the biz dev side as well as marketing, and definitely with the community. Thanks for having me.
Cool. I would like to discuss XCM and also Swanky update. So regarding the XCM, I think Polkadot ecosystem need more multi-chain use cases that leverage XCM. And we have already opened a channel between Akara, and we are going to conduct a campaign together with Akara, so we can get Akara token from Akara to Astar, and we can export Astar token to Akara so that we can make new generation multi-chain use cases. And right now, we are on a process of opening the channel between Shiden and Moonriver. And once it's opened, we are going to cooperate with Moonbeam as well. And also, we would like to open the channel between Shiden, which is our Kusama parachain, and SetMine. And once it is opened, we can bring a lot of the NFT use cases and also USDT. So we are really excited to open a lot of the channel, as many as possible. So if you are already a parachain and you would like to work on XCM, please contact us. And also regarding the Swanky is the all-in-one WebAssembly toolings for developer. So I think WebAssembly is the future of the smart contract, but the Ethereum virtual machine is really important right now. And we have a bunch of the Ethereum virtual machine toolings like Truffle, Ganache, OpenZeppelin, and so on. And we need more toolings for WebAssembly smart contract because Polkadot is not another EVM chain. So we should have a bunch of the next generation WebAssembly smart contract use cases. To do so, we need a tooling. So we are making all-in-one WebAssembly toolings. So you can consider OpenZeppelin plus Truffle for Polkadot. And we are going to provide Swanky for all WebAssembly parachain, not only by Astar, not only for Astar, but also for all parachains. And we would like to make something meaningful for entire ecosystem to make Polkadot as a next generation leading layer one blockchain. Lams, do you have anything?
I will add to the update on our docs.astar.network. We recently updated the website where you could get a lot of this information and stay up to date, as well as the continuation of our growing ecosystem with the more than 30 DeFi projects. You could check out a recent graphic of that on our Twitter as well.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you very much for having me today, Emily and Polkadot.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining both. Sota, I believe it's you went again as the person that stayed up the latest for the community call.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you can go to bed now. Thank you so much for making it in the middle of the night. It's probably like 2 a.m. your time now, or something like that. All right. Well, thank you so much. Up next here we have Megan from Darwinia.
Hey there. Thanks for having me on the call.
Megan, I think your speaker is really, or your microphone, quiet.
Oh goodness, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Can someone else confirm it? One of the speakers.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, I'll try and talk close to the microphone because I think Twitter's rugging me today. What a nice day, everyone. Thank you for having me here. So yeah, just want to touch on a little bit about what Darwinia does. We're a cross-chain bridge network that's focusing on compatibility between XCVM and external EVM chains. So similar to Composable, but we're focusing more on EVM chains versus IBC in the Cosmos ecosystem. So what sets us apart from other bridge networks that are already deployed on some parachains, Kusama and Polkadot is our light client-based network. So we don't rely on external validation in order to get our cross-chain messages validated. We do all native verification. So the trust elements have been really minimized there. So what's new for us is we've rolled out our EVM compatible virtual machine to our Darwinia network. So that's basically an EVM compatible smart chain that's been rolled out onto our substrate based chain. And Darwinia also has a parachain, which we've won recently. And we're very proud to be part of the community and going to be onboarding there soon. So what we're doing next is just getting all the routing sorted out. So for example, you'll be able to use XCVM to talk to EVM compatible chains outside the Polkadot ecosystem just in a couple of months once we've got all the routing sorted out. And we're also working on a software development kit that should be rolling out with more and more features in the next few months that will allow developers to pick and choose the features and assets they want from various chains and plug them into a single smart contract deployment. So yeah, lots of stuff on the go for us. We've also got a security audit that's ongoing. And in the next couple of months after all that is done, we'll be rolling out more bridges to BNB, Hiko, Tron, Polygon, and also opening up HRMP channels to many more parachains on both Kusama and Polkadot.
Wonderful. Thanks, Megan. How can the community stay up to date with Darwinia? Where is the best place to go?
So definitely give us a follow here on Twitter at Darwinia Network. You can also join our Telegram, Discord, Subsocial, and there's also a link tree on our Darwinia Twitter to follow us on all our other socials.
Wonderful. Well, thanks again for joining us here today. And up next, we will hear from Gear. We have Pavel and Dave joining us.
Hello, thanks everybody. I'm Pavel. I'm actually the Chief Ecosystem Officer of Gear. I'm mostly in charge of the PR, events, marketing, workshops, our new academy that we're launching now for developers, and some tooling regarding the how to better and easier to deploy and examples that we're having on Gear. Also with me is Dave. He can present himself. He's in charge of partnership.
Yeah,
Dave,
hey
you want to
guys,
present
Dave
yourself now?
here. Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear both of you.
Okay. Yeah, Dave, I sort of like the business development and partnerships here, as well as working on some other just like business and operational kind of things in the background. Joined the team in January after 3.5 years at Coinbase, and then before that, I was, if anybody was around for long enough to know what Earn.com was, I was part of that team before we got acquired by Coinbase in 2018. So, yeah, happy to be here.
He's a little bit shy because he also oversees now all the legal stuff that we're doing, and it's actually a mess of things. But okay, we're really excited to be here. It's our first Polkadot community call, so we'll try to share a bit of information that we're having, and maybe later on we can do it in separate things. So actually, what is Gear? Gear is a WebAssembly based smart contract agent that will allow anybody to deploy the app in minutes, and actually that will cost really cents. How we can do it? So practically it's something that you will have as a speed nearly like Solana has, but with the security that actually Near can produce with the proof of stake that we're having. So actually we will be the fastest layer 1 with proof of stake in the whole Kusama ecosystem. How we're doing it? We're doing it thanks to 3 different things that actually are not practically used in the blockchain space, but 2 of them, but are mainly used in the Web2 sphere. First of all is the actor model. It's the way how actually the communications inside our network is done. So we take this thing that actually is used a lot in parallel computing in the Web2 world and put it into the blockchain. In this way, actually, each instance in our blockchain is actually an actor that communicates one with each other. I won't go in deep about how the actor model works now because of the time. You can actually read in our Medium or check the decoded presentation that we did. But to make the long story short, thanks to the actor model, we can use asynchronous messages. These asynchronous messages allows us to make parallel computing, which actually speed up a lot the process that we're having. Plus, the second pillar that Gear is using is WASM. Everybody's familiar with that, WebAssembly Virtual Machine, that actually was introduced also by Polkadot into the whole world. And this came as one of the best solutions. It allows us to have practically native speed. And the third one is a concept that we also introduced while we were working already on our engine. It's called persistent memory, which allows us to allocate and deallocate memory to any program. Practically something that WASM doesn't know how to do it, we can do it based on the CESS calls that we are arranging that. So if you want to be a deep coder on Rust, you can actually code whatever you want in a deep language. But we wanted to make this life easier to any developer to come into the Web3. So what we did is generate a lot of libraries that allow any person actually knowing Rust not really good. He needs to know more the logic of the language and actually the logic of the program that he wants to do without knowing domain-specific things and features, can code as any other program and upload it into our network or into our protocol. This is done thanks to a lot of libraries that we're doing, plus a lot of examples that we are actually already deploying and showing to any person, where he can take as a Lego cubes, put that together, and build a big castle or whatever he wants from that. We have actually videos where people are deploying a DAO from 0 to a DAO done in less than 9 minutes, including the front end. We have something like that in NFT marketplace that you can deploy in less than 10 minutes, and things like that that can help a lot for the developers to do it there. Because what we want to do is, first of all, to make an easy bridge to any person that is coming from the blockchain ecosystem and wants to come into the Kusama ecosystem, to do it fast. Plus, there is 2.2 million developers, Rust developers outside, and there is just 80,000 developers that actually gives commits for the blockchain space a month. That means we don't want to cannibalize the current base. We want to take the other guys that are there, that know how to program, and just make them the first and easy way entrance into the whole blockchain ecosystem. Actually, now we're practically ready. We are passing the external audit for now. And we already received the first draft, and they're saying that everything is okay. We're expecting the finalized decision, and then we will be launching our standalone testnet, in which actually we are now preparing and looking for different validators and stuff like that in order to make it nice and easy. We're also thinking a lot about different other applications and partnerships, in which actually Dave can share more light on because it's his area. But we would like everybody to come and feel comfortable when we're launched. Dave, it's your turn.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Pavel. Yeah, so from a partnerships perspective, we really think about our ecosystem in terms of its participants. So these include institutions, developers, validators, and the end users. And so we want to support applications and infrastructure that's going to make it very easy for all of those participants to interact within the Gear ecosystem. So we have sort of like currently one integration that's launched and announced with Zenlink. So thank you to those folks for being early builders and partners with Gear. We have a handful of others where the integration is done, but the announcements are forthcoming. So follow us on Twitter to see kind of like what we've been working on. And then as far as the future pipeline, we have about 40 active integrations at various stages with projects, both parachains as well as like cross-chain and omni-chain and multi-chain kinds of projects, both within Polkadot and then those that have deployed outside of Polkadot that now want to deploy inside, which I think is sort of like the key value proposition for Gear. But these are sort of like across NFTs, gaming, DeFi, wallets, privacy, DAOs, identity storage, Oracle's indexers, and node infrastructure providers. So all that's kind of like in flight. A lot of this is really kind of aimed at supporting our mainnet launch, which will be happening. Few factors that could determine that, but it's forthcoming within the next few months for a standalone network. We're also exploring something that I'm really interested in and excited about, which is we're exploring opportunities to have Gear be sort of like the de facto smart contract engine for parachains that don't have native functionality. And so there's some conversations in flight there. So if anybody wants to power WASM smart contracts, then let's talk. Also want to just give an open call for any like cross-chain, cross-parachain, Dapper infrastructure providers, Rust developers, or any other projects that want to enter or expand their presence within Kusama. We want to talk to you and let's put something together so that we can help have Gear support your project. And then, maybe preempting the last question, which is like, where can folks, like follow us? Probably the best place is on Twitter. We also have a very active Discord and Telegram channel, and then you can check out our website, GitHub, and our staging testnet as well right now for more information. And feel free to ping Pavel or myself directly, and we can help you get directed to the resources as well. Thanks for the time.
Wonderful. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Pavel. And thanks for, answering that question. That's great. Oh, Pavel, do you have something you want to say?
For inviting us.
Absolutely. We're always happy to have. Uh-huh. Yes, of course. We're always happy to have ecosystem teams on too. This is why we do it. So thanks for joining. All right. Up next, we have CESS, or Cumulus Encrypted Storage Systems. We have John joining us today.
Hi guys, how are you doing today? Thanks for the introduction. It's always a pleasure to work with our partnership in Polkadot. We're immersed in your ecosystem, and we're thrilled to be a part of it as well. For those of you who don't know me, my name is John. So I'm the marketing manager for CESS, or Cumulus Encrypted Storage We're much better known as CESS. So basically, we're a decentralized storage protocol, and we give large-scale commercialization. Through our protocol, you can obviously we have like 3 different phases to our protocol. We have our functionality, which can be called through a comprehensive API. We then have our network infrastructure, which is our blockchain, and ultimately our CESS ecosystem. So obviously, you guys will know as well, being Polkadot, the ecosystem that you create is one of your biggest assets in the business. For our new propositions, we want to be the leading decentralized storage protocol with commercial use. We want to provide scale and high volume commercial applications. We're also chain agnostic, and we aim to provide a robust and diversified ecosystem. We do this with having WASM smart contract and EVM compatibility, and apps can also launch native within our ecosystem. Some of the benefits of our high data assurance. So we usually do 3 copies of data, we encrypt, and we save across multiple nodes. The system will verify this data segment and it will replace when it's missing. We do this through a proprietary technology, which you can read more about in our website due to the time constraint we have at the moment. Another one of our benefits is the maximization of our space. This is done through data and smart space, and it's we also have a very fast data retrieval. So we're able at having a millisecond data retrieval. Currently, we're in the seconds, and obviously we're widely applicable for many commercial use. Obviously, we have a full stack solution to provide the best support, our comprehensive API, and obviously EVM and WASM smart contract compatibility. Following the Polkadot ecosystem, we first place in 2021 Polkadot Hackathon. We've been twice a Web3 Foundation grant, part of the Substrate program as well, and we've been working in Polkadot Bootcamp as well. We've just submitted we've just passed our first milestone, Substrate's Builder program, and we will be submitting the second milestone in August, so it's very fast approaching. We also were part of Polkadot Decode recently. I myself spoke in, and then we also had Polkadot Decoded conferences in New York and in China as well. And for our updates, we have launched our testnet, which is a great milestone for CESS. In the last 2 weeks, we have had over 1,300 storage nodes join our testnet, and 71 consensus nodes join our testnet. We have completed the design of the dynamic storage pricing data. For CESS, we will be able to price dynamically. We'll be able to gather data from decentralized storage protocols and offer a competitive price. So this is very exciting things. And the EVM compatibility is now complete on our testnet. There's various use cases for our decentralized storage protocol. Also, we support frequency streaming and data for DApps. This can be decentralized Facebooks. We support social relationships with data service. We have centralized streaming. This could be TikTok, this could be Netflix, or even having online streaming. Obviously, for storage capabilities, and it's so many infinite use cases that we can have on this. It's such an exciting project. If you want to follow up more on us, we're very active on our Discord channel. We have got a Telegram channel or Twitter as well. all of this information you can find through our CESS website, which is CESS.cloud. I'm sure we'll as well, so you guys can follow us in it. And we're very excited to have more people join our community. We're trying to expand across the world at the moment. We've had so much efforts into LATAM, Europe, the States. It's just all very exciting at the moment.
Exciting stuff. So how can people stay up to date? Where should they follow you?
I'd probably say, our best way to follow us is going to be through our Discord and our Twitter. We're always updating it. We have weekly reports and monthly reports. We share infographics to update our community. Through our Discord channel, we have very active and engaging discussions as well. You can join this in different languages as well. It doesn't just have to be English. We have Spanish, we have Chinese. We're working on a Japanese channel as well. So we really want to have this inclusivity where people can join the community, feel at home, and be able to ask us questions, really. We want to be there for any of your needs.
Wonderful. Sounds great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, John.
Thank you for having us.
And up next, I think we have the most unique set of Twitter handles I have ever introduced. We have Catnip Pirate and Bullock Cheney's and Unique Fend from Unique Network to talk about whatever comes to mind.
Hi everybody. Hope you hear me well, and let me proceed. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, perfect. I'm Oleg, and I'm CPO of Unique Network, and I hope we are the greatest NFT network, and definitely the greatest NFT parachain ever. We have quite wide portfolio of products in development and ready to deploy, and ready for our clients. And among others, I want to present two root features of our project, not root, core feature, like our SDK, which will be intended to be the quick way to our network, to our NFTs, and all the core machinery behind our network and so on. And next one, I want to present RFTs, refundable tokens, which will be aimed to be with the further development of NFTs and quite great set of business cases of NFTs, further cases of NFTs. And I'm glad to give the voice to Philip, our development relations manager, to explain some interested key points on these products. Philip?
Yeah, sure. Here's just to check. Everyone hear me? I think everybody has to go through this part.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
Philip.
excellent. Okay, before I delve into this issue, I just have to say one thing. I'm quite fascinated by something which I'm observing with this meeting we're having here. We're having such a diverse set of completely different areas of development and implementation of the blockchain. It's absolutely fascinating to listen to all the different directions in which all this is going. So I'm very happy. We're all very happy, Unique, to be all the members, to be happy to be here with you and to be part of this very, very exciting discovery of a very new world and a very new technology. In that spirit, I wish to continue and say that Oleg said the best. We are certainly trying to be. We're trying to kind of push the limits of what can be done with NFTs in general. And this means that we're trying to first make it easy for everyone to get involved with NFTs by providing the tools for everyone to simply mint and manage their collections. But further than that, is the complex implementation of the NFTs that we're very much interested in pushing out really quickly. And those are like the ability to sponsor minting of NFTs, which is a really, really interesting and important issue. If you have like a chance to give out free tokens, popes, and so on, where you don't want to burden the recipient with paying a fee for getting a gift. And this might seem like a very kind of easy thing to consider and a logical thing, but it hasn't been implemented in many cases as yet. And we're making it part of the blockchain it's just a matter of choice. You want it, you need a little bit of a fund, and you're well off with it. And we're also working on creating very flexible NFTs to be applied in many cases, which we're just beginning to discover actually at this point. And this means concepts like nesting NFTs into complex tree-like structures, which we're just discovering what this actually means. How can this be applied? And in the recent Kusama hackathon, we've put out a challenge for people to come out and discover. Give us an idea. How could you implement a tree-like structure of NFTs? What could it be used for? Let's hear something new. And this, actually, we got some very nice results. And you'll be hearing about that since Kusama is finishing in about a few days. And the winners will be announced and so on. And you'll have a chance to see an implementation of this idea in reality through some real-world examples. Further than that, here's the idea of refungibility or fractionalizing an NFT, which is so exciting. And we've actually pushed forth a lovely idea of purchasing a CryptoPunk, which is a hideously expensive thing. It's like buying a house. And then attaching it to a SubstraPunk, which is an NFT on the unique blockchain, into a composite kind of bundled NFT, and then breaking it up into thousands and thousands of pieces so that everybody can own a CryptoPunk if they want to. You just join and you've got a piece, and you can say for all the world, I'm one of the owners of the CryptoPunks. You're a fractional owner, but you're de facto the owner of a CryptoPunk. Don't let anybody fool you in saying, that's not like the real thing. Well, you can't sell it, but you're the owner. You have the right to use it. You have the right to take it up as your avatar and whatever. And this is an idea we kind of pushed for to tickle everyone to think about what refungibility could actually mean and how it could be applied. And in what sense does it have an angle that is beneficial for the community? And this is like sharing the wealth of the world in some way. Of course, yes, and there is a novel idea. The moment I stopped in speaking was that I actually had to come back to what it means. It's so new an idea. We have an idea that we've brought up that we've come up with recently that's called dApp staking. And it's a way to incentivize the creators of dApps to provide liquidity for the dApps by staking unique and quartz tokens specifically for some dApps. So this kind of resembles the idea of auctioning of the parachains. It's like motivating the community to somehow support dApps which they like, they think will work out well in the future. And once you stake certain amount of quartz or unique towards a dApp, you provide the returns are provided by, in the initial phase, by the inflation that has, in our tokenomics, if you go to the site, there is a certain schedule of inflation that is going to drop off during the years. But in this inflation will provide for the returns, which is a way to kind of intelligently implement the way of how do you say, distributing the inflation that is kind of building to the community and to the ones that are taking part in the staking. But that's only the first step. Once a dApp gets up and going and it has enough liquidity to function, there is a second phase where certain returns that go from taking part in being getting support from staking also brings in returns to the ones that have staked their tokens. So I think this is a new idea. I haven't seen it anywhere before, and I really hope this is going to bring some new and interesting new excitement into the world of the blockchain and so on. Well, I think that about covers it. I think our next speaker has something to say. I hope I've tickled your fancy there, and I hope you like.
I guess it will be Alec with some words on SDK and the purposes of SDK and all the things behind the facade of SDK. Alec. Alec, I hear.
Wonderful.
Yes. Okay.
Alex, will you be speaking as well, or is that it for unique updates?
Yeah, Alex.
Hi. Hi, I'm from Igniter. I'm going to tell about refundable tokens called RFT. RFT is a refundable token that is designed to share the ownership of one token among several users. So while NFT is a token that can be owned only by one owner, refundable token can be owned by multiple users. In general, we talk about the RFT as an NFT, but divided into a certain number of parts of ownership, and users can own a certain number of parts and transfer them easily like NFT. So, for example, if we make RFT of 10 parts, a user can own 1, 2, up to 10 parts and transfer them easily, just like the user owns an NFT. An example of the usage of RFT is POAP, a token for the member of participation in some event. For example, we are doing an event and we have 1,000 of participants taking part in it, and if we want to send some memory NFTs to everyone, we must mint to up to 1,000 of several NFTs, and to send one NFT to every user, and itself it's not a problem, but we have 1,000 of absolutely same tokens, which are assumed to be unique and non-fungible. At the same time, we can simply mint one RFT consisting of any number of parts, for example, 1,000 of parts, and send to the participants. So, for example, we have a collection of such RFTs. For example, collection of our events which we make, we can build some kind of community of participants of several events, and then make some marketing around it and so on. Now we are now we are splitting CryptoPunk and SubsterPunk as a demo, and sending one part of CryptoPunk and SubsterPunk to every who wants to take it. And also we have some mechanisms to securely convert NFT to RFT, split it, and reverse process to recombine the RFT to the NFT, and so on. Thank you.
Great. No, good presentation. Alec, Do you have a chance to participate as speaker?
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Awesome.
So,
Yeah.
go on.
Cool. So I want to tell you several words about our SDK. So now we are building our JavaScript SDK, and this tool will allow developers to quickly build or connect their dApps, like NFT marketplaces and games, to a unique network. So our goal to implement all methods of blockchain interaction into the SDK, and this will make it easier for developers to work with blockchain and kind of make it this whole process core agnostic. So first, we want to test SDK ourselves on our products, and then after we realize that everything works well, open up to developers and our community. Now we are moving our web products on SDK, and I can say that our wallet marketplace can it's like first clients of SDK. So after testing SDK ourselves, we definitely want to release our alpha version of SDK in like several months and make it publicly available to all developer community of Polkadot. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. That's it from our side.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Unique. Is that all your updates on your end?
Yeah. We finished with our update.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And thank you so much for joining today. Again, you guys won the award of the most unique Twitter handle to join the call. So wonderful. Up next, last but certainly not least, we have Council Member Raul to give the overview of the major motions, proposals, and upgrades that happened on both Polkadot and Kusama in the last month.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Very happy to be here again and hear you all after Decoded. It was a pretty exciting event. I want to let you all know that I want to thank again all of those teams who participated in the organization of Decoded via Treasury proposals. You can find all of the Decoded side events and main events reports now on Polk Assembly and Subsquare. All of the contextual information with metrics and goals are there, as well with photos and videos on the side events and whatnot. So make sure you check that out. We will share all of this after on Twitter as well. I know I always say this, but it's been very, very busy in the last month for governance, not only because of all of the treasury proposals, the runtime upgrades, and the motions and referenda that the community has been discussing and voting, but also because a couple of teams have presented in Decoded the second governance model that the community can already review and eventually vote on a runtime upgrade. This is called Governance 2, and it's Polkadot's next generation of decentralized governance. Gavin has also shared and published an article about it, explaining all of the fundamentals of this particular new governance model for the community to review and leave their opinions and questions. As we all know, the first decentralized governance system was pretty interesting. We all know that this is a tricameral, three-chamber structure with a technocratic committee, a council, and a democracy module where all token holders can participate, but it has its drawbacks and limitations. And the governance 2 model, the next generation governance system, aims to solve a lot of these issues and problems while keeping a lot of the benefits that the first governance model has. We're going to share the article on a tweet, so please make sure to check it out. And if you have any questions or comments on this, you can always open a post on Polk Assembly or on Subsquare, or you can join the direction channels and ask any questions you might have. At the same time, we're going to be hosting a governance discussion, an AMA, on the Kusamaverse governance space. This will be on August 4th at 3 p.m. Central Eastern Time. Make sure to go to the governance space before and leave your comments or questions for the AMA on the board that you will find there. You will also find a lot of really interesting content regarding governance. So make sure to join the Kusamaverse on August the 4th at 3 p.m. CET. As usual, I'm going to separate this in the two relay chains on Kusama and Polkadot. First, I'm going to go through the governance, the general governance proposals, and then through some of the most interesting treasury proposals. Let's start with Kusama. It was a very busy Tuesday for Kusama yesterday because we upgraded the runtime to version 9260. This adds and changes different parameters in the network in preparation for what's to come. It changes some of the origins, referenda, and conviction voting, as well as some of the weights were updated, and it adds a pallet transaction payment. You can find all of the notes in Subsquare. This is referendum 216. Regarding this experiment that we call nomination pools on Kusama Network, the community has been pretty active on nomination pools. We're very happy to see that. The staking team has been monitoring the created nomination pools on Kusama very closely, and they have been listening to a lot of bug reports from the community. Thank you to the community for submitting these reports. They're very, very helpful. A number of fixes have been already made, and these fixes have been already solved. But to make operations easier, the staking team requested governance to lower the number of pools to 64 and 16 members per pool. This means that there should be a maximum of 1,024 members to participate in the pool in Kusama for now, which is both high enough to allow ample experimentation, and it makes migration to repair these particular issues feasible and complicated. This proposal was voted as an external motion and then voted by the community as referendum 208, and it has been already executed. Regarding a very interesting proposal up for vote right now by the council, and related as well with nomination pools, there was an operator that requested the cancellation of a slash that happened in era 3995. This was an operator request, and it wasn't applied until now, so the operator is requesting the cancellation due to the node suffering several errors that were described in the proposal post in the contextual information. You can find it all on Polkassembly and Subsquare. And the staking team has advised a console to cancel the slash due to some issues with the codes that were reported by the operator. So thank you very much to the operator. And the proposal is right now up for vote by the Kusama console as motion 518. Let's go to treasury proposals. I have chosen for you today 3 particularly interesting treasury proposals. If you are in the Kusama Direction channel in the past 3 days, you have seen there is a lot of discussion regarding liquidity proposals, and particularly one of them, the Genshiro Money Market and DEX liquidity funding proposal. This has been very, very productive discussion so far. The proposal is up for vote as referenda 217 for 4 more days and 9 hours. So you can still vote on it. You can still review it, leave your comments and question. You can join the Direction channel and the discussion. And make sure as well, please, to join the AMA session tomorrow, so July 28th at 3 p.m. UTC with the Kusamarian on Twitter Spaces to discuss this particular proposal, the vote, the proposal content, and the roadmap with the Genshiro team, so they can answer any questions you have there. You can also leave your questions in Polkassembly and Subsquare. This is a proposal by Equilibrium that aims to attract liquidity into Genshiro Money Market and DEX and incentivize the Kusama and EQD market liquidity and margin trading. A lot of community members are in favor of it. A lot of others are against it. It's been so far a very productive discussion. I am very, very happy to see the community super active in Kusama. It's really, really nice to see. So congratulations to you all and keep on going. The second Treasury proposal is also related to the Kusamarian, which is hosting the AMA tomorrow with Kenshiro. The Kusamarian has requested a 6-month maintenance proposal in order to continue with operations. The Kusamaria brand was created gaining 1,000 followers on Twitter and aiming to deliver frequent content with contributions from some of the strongest participants in WAG Media, which is a Discord-based reward delivery system focused on connecting those who want to share, create, and distribute the story of the Dotsama ecosystem and getting some funding for it. This particular proposal aims for a 6-month maintenance proposal that will cover several series of the particular WAG Media production content. This is still up for vote by the Council as motion 517. And then, last but not least, on Kusama, I want to mention a motion that was already executed. This is a bounty proposal. If you remember, the bounty mechanism allows the Council to delegate the responsibility of review and evaluation of particular Treasury proposals to a set of experts. We have approved what we call the infrastructure maintenance proposal. As you know, a lot of teams that work on public infrastructure come to the Treasury seeking for funds to maintain their operations in order for the community to have access to their services for free. These are block explorers, wallet, open source wallet development, indexers, RPC endpoints, and whatnot. This bounty proposal delegates this responsibility of deciding who gets maintenance funding from the Council to a set of experts, and it's already active. The bounty has had already the first 7 submissions, I think, all successfully approved. So thank you to the curators of the bounty for the work and to all of the implementers for restructuring their maintenance funding proposals to the bounty as well, because we believe it's a more efficient way to do so. Let's go to Polkadot. Polkadot also had a very hectic Tuesday yesterday. We upgraded the runtime to 9250, so one less than the Kusama network. The proposal was executed successfully. You can find all of the release notes, runtime changes, and proposal hash on Polkassembly and SafSquare. We will also be sharing everything on Twitter, so make sure to stay alert if you want to know what has changed on the runtime. Regarding governance proposal, the Akala Foundation seat in the Council of Polkadot Network has proposed an increase on the maximum number of HRMP channels from 10 to 30. And this proposal aims to increase this number, and it's noted that the number of inbound and outbound channels are separate configuration, and therefore this is a batch call to update both values. This has already been approved by the Council, and it needs to be voted by the community. It's at the moment in external queue, and if the TC does not fast-track this, then at the end of the launch period, we will be voting in democracy module as a referendum. Regarding Treasury proposals on Polkadot Network, I have chosen also 3 Treasury proposals for your review and comments. The first one is one that was already approved, the OpenCL Common Good Zero Knowledge Proof Library for substrate builders. This is a proposal that was particularly pushed by Manta Network, but interested users in alphabetical order also include Akala, Astar, Interlay, Mangata, Jump Trading Crypto, Kilt, and Talisman, among other. OpenCL is an open source library that helps practitioners, especially in the Web3 space, to develop high-performance zero-knowledge proof code in production. So it tries to bridge the gap between low-level cryptographic primitives and developers need to build scalable protocols using zero-knowledge proof cryptography securely and quickly. This was approved by the Council and is at the moment in development. So congratulations to the team. And then I have two originally wallet teams that submitted several proposals to Treasury and have also their new or the latest Treasury proposals approved. The Talisman proposals for a cross-chain transaction history service was approved by the Council approximately 1 day and 9 hours ago, I think. They're seeking to fund the development of a cross-chain transaction history service for the benefit of users, parachains, and applications. They believe that this will be an advancement in usability and security for end users, and they will be able to more easily understand the actions they have taken across different parachains in the Kusama ecosystem. So very useful service for community members funded by the Polkadot Treasury. And last but not least, I want to mention a particular proposal that it's up for vote by the community at the moment. This is Omni, the Polkadot Enterprise Desktop application. Omni is developed by part of what was the Nova team before that is also developing the mobile application. And this particular proposal aims to develop and seek funding to develop milestone 2 of the Omni Enterprise wallet. The feature set of proposals includes the foundation for the enterprise application, the implementation according to the quality attributes, the light client integration, which is very, very interesting and useful, the data verification for parachain nodes, a secure protocol for integration for encrypted communication between user, especially multi-sig parties, and the initial Omni Enterprise V1 feature set, an easy-to-use multi-sig accounts, integration with Parity Signer, assets management across all Polkadot ecosystem networks, and other full set of features that you can check in the proposal. This is up for vote right now as motion 235. So that's it from my side. I hope I got you a bit more interested on the governance side of things. If you have any questions, you can always join the direction channels. Please join the discussion and remember to vote.
Wonderful. Thank you, Raul. And thank you everyone for joining today. I would like to give a shout out to the teams that joined us today. Again, that was Unique and CESS and Gear and Aventus and Composable Finance and Darwinia. And I already said Unique. I believe that is all of them. And Astar. We had Astar joining us as well. I know that you guys are all very busy, and we appreciate that you guys take the time to come join the community call and update the community on what you guys are working on. So thank you so much. And to everyone tuning in, make sure to follow those accounts, these Twitter accounts, if you aren't already, to stay up to date with the parachains and the projects and what they are up to. And we will see you guys all on the next community call in August. Thanks all.